This video is going to show you how to do the doorstop project, which looks like this one, as a three-dimensional object with Google SketchUp. So to start it, you need to just go to your Google Apps. Just go down to the one that says Google SketchUp, and if you open that, it'll open up. And once it's open, we're going to start a new document. Right, so once you're on this screen, we're going to come up here to create new. We're going to basically do something which is like that document there, or like that model there. We'll come up here to create new, make sure it's in millimeters, and that'll open up a page that looks like this. All right, so it's got a picture of a person up here. We can delete that one now, we don't need that. Now, one thing you want to do before you start is just come down here to this button, just click and just make sure it's on trackpad if you are using a trackpad. If you're using a mouse, you can click that one there, but I'm going to use a trackpad, so I'll click that one. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to draw a small box, a rectangle. So I'm going to click up here and I'm just going to drag that box out. Now, I remember from the drawing that the bottom part of the doorstop is going to be 220 millimeters long. So all I've done here is I've just typed in, use my keyboard, 220, then I've pressed comma, and I'm going to type in 70. And when I press enter, that's made a very small box down here. It was actually entering the dimensions down here in this corner, so we'll have a look at that again in a moment. We want to zoom that in because that's actually in the full scale, so that's a much larger version of that. So that's our box, which is 220 across and 70 wide. I'm now going to press this tool, which is called the push-pull tool. If I click that and I drag it upwards, so I can see, you can probably see down the bottom corner, those dimensions are changing to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I could bring that up to 19, which is what my dimension says on my screen or on my drawing, or I can just type in 19. And so that's changed that at the bottom, and I press enter, and that will set that. So I've now got it at 19. So I've now got a cube which is 220 wide, 70 millimeters wide, or 220 long, 70 wide, and it's 19 millimeters tall. Now, it's a little bit too big for the screen there, so next thing I can do is I can use the three little dots down the bottom here, click on this button that says zoom, and I can, by scrolling up and down, so clicking the mouse pad, scroll up and down, I can change the size of it. Right, now next thing I want to do, I'm going to go back and have a look at my image. So I've got this dimension here, which is 146. So it's 146 from that point to this point here, and that's representing this slope that we've got. So let me go back and show you how we do that. So we want to use our drawing tool now to get some sizes in. So I'm going to use my pencil tool. I'm going to click right down the bottom corner here where it says endpoint. I'm going to drag it upwards and I'm going to type in 5. Right, so that's now drawn a line there, which is 5 millimeters from the bottom corner. From this point, I'm going to drag it across and type in 146. Right, so that's then drawn that line in also. Okay, we can't see it at the moment, but we can in a moment. So now I'm going to take my pencil, I'm going to drag it up till it finds, so it just found the end point of that first line that we did. I'm going to drag it along here until it finds the point that says end point, which is there. Okay, so I've drawn that in. Now I can use my push-pull tool again, and I can just go down this little corner where it's highlighted with those little dots. I can click, drag, and take that section out. So that's just giving me that slope. All right, so next thing I want to do is I want to mark in where I'm going to do the housing joint just down here. Okay, so go back to my drawing. I'm going to use my line tool again. I'm going to click from this point, and I saw in my drawing that it's going to be 45 millimeters in from the edge. So I've just drawn that 45 millimeters in. So there it is there. Now I'm going to take my pencil, draw a line straight down So I want to draw this line 10 millimeters down because your housing joint is going to be half of the thickness of the timber. So I'll click there to 10. I'm going to come across. Now this line is going to be 19 millimeters across, and it's going to be 19 because again, our material is 19 millimeters thick. So I want to make my housing joint exactly to fit that dimension. So I'll click on 19, click, and I'll just drag it back up to the top again. Okay, so I've drawn that line in, push pull tool again, click, and drag it out. All right, so that, if we look at our drawing again, that is that shape there, or that line there that's going through, which is that housing joint. Now, last thing I want to do is want to move this out of the way. I can use this, no, I can't. I can use this button here just to move my drawing across a little bit. And I want to draw, just on the side here, I want to draw again, a small rectangle, which is going to end up fitting in here. So click up here, drag it down. I'm going to use my keypad now to type in 19, comma, and 70. That's going to give me a box which is exactly that size. I'm going to use my push-pull tool again. And I remember on my drawing that this is going to be 70 millimeters tall. So again, type in 70. Okay. Now, the reason why I pull this over to the side is because I want to be able to highlight this entire piece now. So I click on my selection tool up here in the corner. I'll drag across that box. You can see it's highlighted in blue. I'm now going to come down here to my move tool. I'll click on that, and I want to click right in the bottom corner here. So I click there. That'll let me then move that across until it's gone down to that endpoint. So you want it to say endpoint, like that. Okay, and pretty much that is our doorstop completed as a Google SketchUp.